The wine glass slipped from my hand before I even realized I'd let it go. It shattered against the kitchen tiles, the sound splitting the air like a scream I couldn't make. Male strippers. I repeated, my voice trembling between disbelief and something darker. You're kidding, right? Leah looked up from her phone, eyes too calm for what she'd just said. Her thumb hovered over the screen before she locked it and set it down beside her. Why would I be kidding, Ryan? It's just for fun. Every bride does something wild before she gets married. Every bride. I stared at her, trying to find the trace of the woman I proposed to 8 months ago. The one who cried in my arms when I told her I couldn't imagine life without her. But tonight, she felt like a stranger sitting in my kitchen, sipping rosé and talking about strippers as if she were mentioning a grocery run. You're flying to Cancun for your Bachelorette, I said, the words coming out slower now, careful. With male strippers. And you didn't think that might be disrespectful? Leah sighed, an exasperated breath that sounded rehearsed. Ryan, it's not about disrespect. It's about fun. I've been stressed with wedding planning, work, everything. I just want to unwind. The air felt thicker than it should have. My palms were damp, my heart pounding, but I forced a laugh that didn't sound like mine. You can unwind without having some guy grind on you. Her eyes narrowed. You're being controlling. That word hit harder than the glass had. I flinched. Leah had started using that word lately, always when I questioned something that didn't sit right, like when she began going out with her work friends every Friday or when she changed her phone password without mentioning it. I wanted to trust her. God, I did. But the more she said I was controlling, the more I felt like I was losing control altogether. I looked at her across the table, the golden light from the pendant lamp catching the faint shimmer of her engagement ring. My ring. Leah, I said quietly, if the roles were reversed, if I told you I was going on a bachelor trip with exotic dancers, you'd lose it. She hesitated, eyes flickering. That's different. How? Because you're a man, she said, her tone sharp now, defensive. You wouldn't understand. I felt something inside me snap, something small but irreversible. I didn't argue. I just nodded and said, okay, go. She blinked, thrown off. What? Go to Cancun. Do whatever you want. Just remember, every choice has a cost. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't throw accusations. But the silence that followed was colder than any words I could have spoken. She grabbed her phone, muttered something about me overreacting, and stormed off to the bedroom. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling while Leah scrolled beside me, the faint glow of her screen casting shadows across her face. Every few seconds, she'd smile at something she read, type quickly, then lock her phone again. By morning, she was gone, off to pick up travel essentials with her maid of honor, who conveniently never answered my texts anymore. The house felt empty without her laughter, but I couldn't shake the hollow feeling that maybe it had been empty long before she left. Days passed. I tried to focus on work, but my mind kept circling back to her. To Cancun. To the half-joking posts she'd made on Instagram, bride tribes going wild, or what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. Each caption stabbed at something raw inside me. Then came the photo. Someone tagged her in it, a group shot at a pool party. Leah, in a white bikini, sitting on the shoulders of a man whose face was half out of frame. Her hand was in his hair, and even though she was laughing, there was something too intimate, too familiar in the way she leaned toward him. My phone slipped from my hand. My chest felt like it was collapsing inward. I zoomed in. The guy's wrist had a tattoo, a small compass. I remembered Leah mentioning a coworker once. Travis, she'd said, laughing, the one who calls me his work wife. That was him. My first instinct was denial. Maybe it was harmless. Maybe I was overreacting. But the pit in my stomach wouldn't let go. I messaged her, looks like you're having fun. She read it. No reply. 2 hours later, she finally responded. Please don't ruin this trip for me. I need this. I stared at that message until the words blurred. I didn't text back. When she returned 4 days later, she kissed me at the door like nothing had happened. She smelled of coconut lotion and expensive perfume. I could see faint tan lines, a new bracelet on her wrist, and eyes that avoided mine. How was it? I asked. It was amazing, she said too quickly. The girls had so much fun. I nodded, pretending to believe her. Pretending not to see the small scratch on her shoulder or the fact that she'd changed her phone background from a photo of us to a sunset over the ocean. That night, while she showered, I opened her phone. The password had changed again. I didn't need proof anymore. The silence between us was proof. The way she laughed differently now, the way she avoided touch unless it was for show. When she came out, towel wrapped around her, I asked softly, "Did you sleep with him?" Her body went rigid. What? Travis. Did you? She froze, mouth opening but no words coming out. Then, finally, it was just a kiss. Just. That single word hollowed me out. I nodded, my throat tight. Then we're done. Her eyes widened. You're ending it over that. Ryan, I love you. It was a mistake. No, I said. It was a choice. She cried, begged, swore it didn't mean anything. But I'd already seen the truth, the light in her eyes when she talked about him, the way my name didn't carry weight anymore. I handed her the ring back the next morning. Now, months later, I still find grains of sand in my suitcase from when we packed for what was supposed to be our honeymoon. I haven't thrown them out. Maybe part of me still hopes that some memories can be rinsed clean if you scrub hard enough. But love, I've learned, doesn't wash away. It stains. And sometimes, the person you planned your forever with is just the lesson that teaches you how fragile forever really is.